In module 107, we will discuss lack of professionalism in teaching. Professionalism is considered as a very important and an indispensable aspect of teacher's personality or any of the profession. Without the professionalism, there is a gap there is a gap, and there are the problems of implementing everything in the education sector and educational institution and teaching learning process. Therefore, the unprofessionalism is considered as a very big problem. And those teachers who lack professionalism are not being given due weightage and respect in the community of the teachers. There are certain reasons of the lack of the professionalism among teachers. That could be the individual's own personal, that could be the institutional, that could be the systematic. So let us discuss what are those reasons. Number one, teacher education competency fixation. Every country has given the yardstick or the parameter or the fixation of that one should know this one. At least this is the level that the one practicing teacher should know. So if there is no yardstick or the parameter of checking the teacher in terms of the competency, that becomes one of the lacking or one of the problems. Other is standardized testing obsession. This has been an issue in many of the countries, and particularly in the field of the teacher education and the teacher training, that the teachers standardized testing, and that if the corresponding level of education, for example, the teacher is working during the teacher's professional development activities as a continuous or at the entry level, but at the corresponding level of the school, for example, after the training, the teacher has to teach in the primary school, elementary school, secondary school. The standardized testing does not in case match with the teacher's competencies, teachers level, many aspects of the teacher professionalism. If it is mismatch, there becomes the problems, and the teachers are considered at the high stake of the high level of the problems. Lack of the autonomy. Mostly in case the teachers feel they are bound to work in the certain limitations or the boundaries, and that becomes a negative effect on the work of the teachers, on the performance of the teachers, on sharing his own or her personal capabilities, professional capabilities. If there is no autonomy, for example, if I am head of the school, headmaster or the principal, and I am not allowing teachers to do what he or she intends to implement in the class, rather I myself give directions that please do work this one and this one. This is when one goes against the plan of the teacher's own working, that becomes the contradictions, and that affects negatively on the autonomy of the teachers. Work intensification. Usually the school teachers, even nowadays the university teachers throughout the world, they claim that they are overburdened. They have a workload beyond their capacity or beyond their commitment, etc. So because of the workload at the part of the institutions, the teachers always feel depressed, under pressure, and that adversely affects the professional level of the teachers. Negative public image. In case there is a minor mistake at the part of the teachers, that has been shown as the biggest level or the major level of the mistake if it is committed by the teachers, and this negatively impacts the image in the public for the teacher. Teachers bashing. Teachers career teachers do not it is commonly it's commonly understood and common realizations that the teaching is the least priority of youth in particularly in developing countries. Therefore the coming or selecting of the teaching profession, they are take it as an opportunity, not as the choice, not as a choice, but it is taken as a chance, because the one has got the chance of employment for one for either keeping engaged or earning the salaries, money. Therefore it was not one's choice. So that also level of the thinking or the situation badly affects. Teachers' salary are poor. The teachers' salaries it relates and it pertains to the third world countries, or you can say the poor countries or the developing nations. The teachers' salaries are mismatched with the other corresponding level of the employment or the jobs in the government sectors or even the private sectors, etc. There are different barriers in why there is the lack. The lack is because there are barriers. What are those barriers coming on the way for that for good professional aspects in the teachers? One is difficult working condition, and other is the systematic challenges, and third is conflict. Fourth is poorly designed professional development. If the teachers don't have identity, teachers self-efficacy is affected and teacher professionalism affected. It may be because of the working conditions in the institutions. He or she can't work independently, or the working conditions are not conducive. That is the barrier. And the other is systematic challenges. There are, because of the system, you get the challenge because you are a competent teacher, but you are appointed or posted in a school where your colleagues, your head, your principal is not good, it is not competent, is not having leadership skill and administrative capacity and inadequate budget in the institutions. That also become the barrier. Conflict is really taken as the classical example of any barrier in smooth functioning of an individual's personal activity or in institutional activity. So this is also one of the barriers. Poorly designed professional development. If the professional development programs are not good and they are not inculcating the desirable competencies, skills, and values and traits and performance level of the teachers, then one should not expect more from the teachers. In case there is a lack in the teachers' professionalism, that creates, because of the lack of the teachers' professionalism, you will get the poor teachers. And what are the traits of the poor teachers? There are different traits of the poor teachers. If it is poor teacher, it means he is lacking classroom management, lacking content knowledge, lacking organizational skill, lacking professional attitude, poor judgment, poor coordination skills, and lack of commitment.